Hey drafters, welcome to Drafting Analytics, short, high signal draft breakdowns to help you improve. Today we'll go through one of my drafts, looking at picks, stats, and synergies. Spot anything you do differently? Drop a comment before you see the next pick. Let's jump in. We opened the first pack with a lot of decent cards. We have Airbending Ascension as our rare. This is White's worst rare with a ranking of D+ on 17 lands and a 52.6% win rate. In the uncommon slots, we have Accumulate Wisdom, Tai Li, Artful Acrobat, Invasion Tactics, and High Buy Spirited of Balance. Accumulate Wisdom is the best uncommon in the pack with a 56.4% win rate and a C+ rating, but I personally don't like the first pick it because we may not land in a lesson deck. In the common slot, the cards of note are Airbending Lesson, Octopus Form, and Corrupt Court Official. We don't want to remember these cards as they will provide signals later when we wield the pack. Since I don't personally like first picking Accumulate Wisdom, I picked a rare card, Airbending Ascension. At the time of the draft, I didn't know how bad a rare it was, but the rest of the pack wasn't super hot except for the Accumulate Wisdom. We get past the pack with an absolute bomb, Earthbender Ascension. This is one of Green's best rares. I assume this was a double rare pack, and the person to our right picked the other rare, hopefully not in green. We'll be snap picking this, but let's take note of the rest of the pack. In the uncommon slot, the only card of note is Boomerang Basics. Boomerang Basic is a decent card, but does require a bit of setup to work well if you want the card draw payoff. It's not like standard where it will always gain value. Of the common cards, the one of note are Octopus Form, Firebending Lesson, and Messenger Hawk. Octopus Form is really nice to protect your bombs. Firebending Lesson is red's best common, and Messenger Hawk is one of blue-black's best commons. It's really good for the clue deck. However, I pick up the Earthbending Ascension as it's the best card. Pick 3, we get past a pack that's a bit weaker. The uncommons aren't anything super strong. Enter the Avatar State is the only good uncommon here. It's good to protect your bombs and can be an okay combat trick. Combat tricks tend to be weaker than other forms of removal though. There are some good commons in this pack. Kyoshi Warriors, Waterbending Lessons, Fire Nation Cadets, Raucous Audience, and Wall Top Sentries are all decent commons. Going purely by stats, the Kyoshi Warriors is the worst of the bunts, but I choose it because it synergizes well with the Airbending Ascension. If we want to stay more open, we should have picked Waterbending Lesson, but passing it along provides clear signals to the person we are passing to that we're not really in the blue lesson deck. The next pack, we get past one of the worst rares in the set, Avatar Destiny. This card may seem good, and you may have good results with it in the lower ranks, but it has the same problem all auras have. When you go to target a creature with it, if your opponent removes the creature, they get a very easy 2-for-1. The uncommons here are all pretty low quality. This pack again has some decent commons that we would be happy to have in any deck. There's another Corrupt Court Official, Wall Top Sentries, Abandoned Attachments, and Barrels of Blasting Jelly. There could have been a good lesson deck here. However, since we are leaning more towards the green-white space, I go with the Wall Top Sentries. Our deck so far wants to survive the early game, get these enchantments online, then take over the board. Wall Tap Sentries is perfect for this slower style. It also does very well against the blue-white Flyers deck that many decks can easily get run over by. Pick 5 contains pretty low quality uncommons. Trusty Boomerang is unplayable, and Sun Warriors is D tier. In the commons, we have some good quality picks of Yip Yip, Iloquentia, and Corrupt Court Official. Iloquentia is the best card in the pack, but we have already passed on a lot of good blue, and I feel like I will get cut from the left, so I should have picked the Yip Yip to stay in white, but I decided to take the Sun Warriors. Typically, the uncommons in this set are much stronger than the commons, especially if we plan to stay in the green-white ally space. It could also show that white-red is open from the right. Next pack, there's a Dai Li Agents, which is a really solid green-black card, especially if we are earthbending a lot. Meteor Sword and Trusty Boomerangs are two of the worst uncommons in the set. The best commons in the pack are Yuan Archers and Mediation Pools. Yuan Archers are pretty good in lesson decks because it allows you to discard a lesson, which then turns on a lot of the lesson payoffs. I ended up picking the Dai Li Agents and start thinking that black-green is where we are going to be. Pick 7, there's a Fire Nation Trebuchet in the uncommon slot and a Deadly Precision in the common slot. These are pretty good signals, especially with the Dai Li Agents. The black is probably open from the right. We also remember from pick 4 that pack had a June Bounty Hunter, which isn't a great black uncommon, but still a decent 2-drop in black. This pack also contains another Union Archer and a Rebel Arena, which are two good commons. However, our deck is lacking a lot of interaction, and at this point, the Deadly Precision is premium black removal. The pick here is Deadly Precision. At this point in the draft, I'm now really starting to think that we're black-green and we'll prioritize these cards. Commons we're now thinking very highly of are Sold Out, Daily Precision, and Corrupt Court Officials in black. We saw a lot of Corrupt Court Officials, so hopefully those wield. In green, we're wanting Raucous Audience, Wall-Top Sentries, Badger Mole, and Rocky Rebuke. Any uncommon in our colors we will be most likely to take. Pick 8, we see a Judy, One of Many, which is an okay black uncommon. We would also be fine with the Azula, Always Lies, and Ostrich Horse. I have the stance that the uncommons tend to be much stronger than the commons, unless it's a premium common removal like Sold Out or Daily Precision. So we go with the Judy. Pick 9 is our starting pack. Corrupt Court Official wields, so this gives us good confidence that the draft table isn't picking black highly. This is pretty common as black is the worst color, but if you end up getting all the premium cards, then black does well. Pick 10, the Ozai Cruelty wields. This card is one of black's best uncommons, but I always find it hard to be able to cast this card. Not extending to the board turn 3, especially on the draw, always feels bad to me. I end up picking the Sabertooth Moose Lion as a top end threat, but the stats show that Ozai's Cruelty is the best card stat wise. Next pack is an easy Wall-Top Sentries. The other two black cards are pretty bad, and seeing a Fire Nation Cadets this late is pretty nuts, as this is the premium red common. We finished pack 1 by picking up another Corrupt Court Officials, an Earth Village Ruffian, and a Trusty Boomerang. Pack 2, we open up a dead of a pack for us. There are no good green or black cards here. During the draft, I still haven't given up on the Airbender Ascension combo yet, when I should have, so the cards I was considering were Invasion Reinforcements, Origin of Metal Bending, and Pretending Pox Bearers. The pack also contains Knowledge Seeker, a very good blue uncommon, and another Firebending lesson. I ended up picking the Evasion Reinforcements, even though it was pretty unlikely I was still going to be white. Probably should have taken the Pretending Pox Bearers here. Pick 2, we get absolutely rewarded with Beifong's Bounty Hunters. This is a very good black-green rare with a 60.1% win rate on 17 lands. Foggy Swamp Visions is an F tier rare and is unplayable. The only other good card of note in the pack is Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper, which is a mythic level uncommon. The next pick is another dud of a pack for us. Secret of Bloodbending is an F tier mythic. Sandbender Scavengers isn't really that good of a rare because the set has a lot of removal that doesn't destroy it. It's also in white and keeps the White Dream alive for us. I should have ignored it and gone with the Messenger Hawk or Rockalanche. Fatal Fissure is an F tier uncommon as well. Do not pick it up. Pick 4, we finally have to make a decision on where we are going to be. Aang the Last Airbender is white's best uncommon. Azula on the Hunt is just an okay black uncommon. The pack also has an Airbending lesson, Corrupt Court Official, and a Wall-Top Sentry. I picked the Azula and took the stance we are no longer being white. During the next pick, I start organizing my white cards to the right. Doing this during your draft helps you see the cards you for sure want to play and allows you to deck build while picking cards. It also removes the pick white bias I was having. Here we have an Ozai's Cruelty and a Haru Hidden Talent in the uncommon slot. Again, I have a hard time with Ozai, but it does have good stats. The Haru is not good and requires a lot of allies for a good payoff, which we don't have. We end up taking the Rumble Arena because we should be earthbending a lot, and this is a good target with the Vigilance and Scry 1. It's also a decent mana fixer. The next pack has the Cave of Two Lovers, which is a very good red uncommon, but we are nowhere close to red. Glider Kids, Eloquentia, Octopus Form, and Union Archers are all good commons. However, since we are not in those colors at all, we will go with the Canyon Crawler, which is a decent top end threat for black. Pick 7 tempts us with white again. Tolls of War is a very good card that scales well. I'm still letting the white bias from previous picks affect my decision making. I should have gone with the Haru Hidden Talent or Corrupt Court Official. However, I picked the Tolls of War. Pick 8, we see a white Lotus Reinforcements, a very good uncommon for the green-white ally deck. We haven't seen a lot of black from the left, which is strange as we have seen a lot of Corrupt Court Officials. People may be picking black removal over it. However, there is also a Rocky Rebuke, which we slam pick. These go very well with our Wall-Top Sentries as they just turn them into a 2-mana murder. Next pack, we see an Origin of Metal Bending and another Rumble Arena. They both have similar stats on 17 lands, and I decided to go with Rumble Arena since we are leaning into the Earth Bending. Our last 5 picks, we get a Foggy Swamp Visions for the rare drafting, a Beetle-Headed Merchant, another Wall-Top Sentries, a Foggy Swamp Vinebender, and a Glider Kids. Going into pack 3, I still need 5 more cards to finish off the deck. I don't want to play the Beetle-Headed Merchants, Canyon Crawler, or Sabertooth Moose Lion, so I really want 8 cards, which is a lot. In pack 3, we open up another Bomb Rare, Toph, Hard-Headed Teacher. We don't have a lot of lessons right now, but its Earthbending off of any spell is very good. I'm not too worried about splashing the red because we already have 2 Rumble Arenas. I'm really hoping that the Badger Mole wields since it will give all our Earthbended lands trample. Pick 2, we get past another Bomb Rare, Azula, Cunning Usurper, one of the best rares in the set. We miss out on a Heartless Act, which is black's best uncommon. After this pick, we are filled up on top end threats. For now on, I will be prioritizing interaction, fixing, and 2-mana plays. Next, we get past a pack with Barrels of Blasting Jelly. This card is great for fixing mana and waterbending, which we're not really doing. It also works well as a removal spell later in the game. If it wasn't for the needing to fix mana for my bombs, I would have picked the Ostrich Horse, one of green's best commons. Pick 4 has the Boulder Ready to Rumble, which is a decent green uncommon. However, we don't have many 4 toughness creatures, and I was so worried about having enough fixing to make the deck work, so I picked the Aang's Journey. In reality, I needed to realize that Sandbidder, Scavengers, and Tools of Wars are both never making the deck, and that I didn't need this much fixing. Pick 5 is another mispick by me. The pack contains Mai, Scornful Striker, Fire Nation Engineer, Azul Always Lies, and the Origin of Metal Betting. Mai is a pretty bad black rare and a card in general. I ended up picking Mai when I really shouldn't have. I was concerned about not having enough 2-drops, especially if I dropped the rest of the white cards. The pick is probably Fire Nation Engineer or Origin of Metal Betting to protect my bombs. Next pick is an easy Earth Rumble for Earthbending and interaction. Do note that this is a fight spell and not a bite spell, which makes it a little weaker. After this, we pick up another Rocky Rebuke. At this point, we have enough playables and need to start cutting cards. Pick 8 gives us another Deadly Precision, a premium black removal. We have enough interaction in the deck, and I was pretty pleased on how the draft was ending. Our pack wields with the Badger Mole, which goes very well with our Earthbending cards. We finish off the draft with another Corrupt Court Official, Boomy Bash, 2 Azul Always Lies, and a Forest. Going into deck building, we have 5 cuts to make. I want to make sure the deck is consistent and not too top heavy, so I decided to cut the Sandbender, Scavengers, and Tools of War to make it more consistent and not be all 5 colors. On the top end, I cut the Beetle-Headed Merchants and Sabertooth Moose Lions, as they are obviously our worst top end cards. Finally, I cut the Aang's Journey, as I don't need this much fixing. For the lands, I play 1 island, 1 mountain, 7 swamps, 6 forests, and the 2 rumble arenas. Most of our early plays are black, and the Azula is double black pip, so that's why I went with 7 swamps. I'm only running 1 island and 1 mountain so they can be searched by the Earthbender Ascension. To splash a card, you typically want 3 sources of the splash color. Barrels of Blasting Jelly, Earthbender Ascension, and the 2 Rumble Arena already provide 4 sources. This deck played very well and ended up going 7-2. I never had any mana fixing issues and was easily able to play all my bombs. My 2 losses were on the draw against a player who drew 5 lands and all gas, and also on the draw against an extremely good blue-black deck. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. See you in the next draft.